What is good, everyone, and welcome back to the Nostalgia Plus Ultra podcast. My name is Nostalgia. Joining me is As Told by Zoe. What's good, my guy?
What's good, homie?
Hey, man, I'm glad to be back recording again. I was laughing to myself before I texted you about recording today. I literally thought back to one of our tweets. I was like, it said, oh, we're going to be more consistent this month. And then I thought about the fucking Tyler, the Creator meme. Well, that was a fucking lie.
Bro, it's been a busy month for the both of us.
Oh, yeah, no, not even for real. It's been crazy.
I just interviewed for a job this week, and I really hope I get it.
Really? For what job is it, if you want to
It's
mind sharing?
It's a local brand. They've been around for 10 years. They're called Outrank brand. They make cool like streetwear stuff. And they need more video guys. So hopefully I get that.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's big. Well, here's to, putting it on air and then getting it out there manifesting. You always want to do that. But yeah, and then also like my working in college athletics is fun until it's not.
Sure.
Like, literally the past like 4 games I've had to work have all gotten like either lightning delayed or rain delayed or
it is
some kind of delayed
week.
It's been insane. Like my internet's gone down at least like 5 times just off of just storms alone.
I don't think we're gonna get hit this year, but welcome to Florida hurricane season.
It's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Georgia's kind of like it'll get hit by like a tropical storm. Like it'll like what happens is it hit Florida, and by the time it gets to us, it's like a regular storm.
Exactly.
It's like it's whatever. But living in West Palm now, it's just like
that's the thing.
Everything's a torrential downpour.
Live close to the water now.
I'm literally 10 minutes from the beach. Like it's
exactly.
not even.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy.
Before we get into anything of subject today,
yes.
I bought something for the podcast, and then our busy schedules caught up to us, and then we weren't able to record. So I've had this for a good like 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. Give me 1 second. Let me click this. Hello.
Yes, I'm still here.
Can you hear my voice?
No, I can't.
No.
No.
Oh, what the fuck?
Is it like a voice modulator?
Yes.
God, I can't hear it.
Hold up. What about the soundboard? Can you hear this?
I don't know why. No, I can't hear. I don't know why, but the soundboard like doesn't work for recordings for some weird reason. Like you can hear it on your own, but you can't hear. I can't hear it.
This is probably for Twitch. I just thought it would work.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because this program does let you like record on Twitch, but I did not realize until like, a couple months ago.
Damn it! I just played I just have stupid shit on my soundboard.
Oh no!
I just played. Oh.
Just like random noises on your soundboard.
I have that. I have Ben going bang. I have Vine boom.
Oh my god!
But this shit was only $11, so it's not like a waste.
Fine.
It's not like I spent like $100 on this.
You could use that for when we do another video or something. Which we probably need to like talk about editing that, because I know we saw a comment about getting
they want us
those
to do
episodes
more.
out.
Yeah, I should get on it.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm free, you could probably send me the file if you need to.
Sure, you can take a crack.
So I can take a crack at it for the second installment. Okay, so moving into this episode, this is supposed to be the third installment of the Jukebox episode series. We have not done. I know I wanted to be more consistent on that, doing more of those, but it's just been kind of weird with scheduling. Plus, other stuff's been happening in terms of like video games and anime coming out and other
Yeah.
things like that. Which there's some anime that are currently airing that I really want to talk about. We'll probably get to that next week, and then ones that we're looking forward to
Give me
come
a
the
week
fall
to
season.
watch Cyberpunk, and then we could talk about it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we you gotta watch that. Okay. So sorry, not to get into that. This is about music today. It's about music
Mhm.
today. Today, I kind of wanted to ask a question. I know we talked about it. I can't remember how long ago it was, but what do you think is? And I want people, if you are listening to this, like shoot a tweet at us or like send something to me or Zoe about it because I kind of want to hear everybody else's input on it. What is the ideal track list for an album? Because
Oh, we've had a lot of conversation about this.
yes, okay, because my issue is, and obviously like we can't. It's not like fresh in everybody's mind, so it's like not as topical as I wanted it to be as far as this question goes. Because the game dropped an album. When was that? Um,
Give me a
last
sec.
month, right?
I think it was last month, but was it 40 songs?
It was 30 songs, 30
Bro,
tracks.
you know what's...
It was 30.
Yeah, Dramatic Heart versus Mind, right?
I
It
think,
was...
yeah.
It dropped August 12th. Yeah, a month ago. It was 30 songs. Not only was it 30
Jesus.
songs, there's a 10-minute song in there.
And it's an Eminem diss of all things.
No, it's an
It's
Eminem
just like,
biography.
oh, he tries to do the thing where he like raps from his perspective or whatever. Is that what
It
that
was
was?
something like that. I stopped listening 3 minutes in.
Jesus Christ, yeah, no.
I
So
think here's the biggest thing. I hate this fucking word, but I guess it's for lack of a better word. It's like you can't drop a 30 song album when you're not peak relevance, you know?
yeah,
Cuz
yeah,
like I don't want to say he's irrelevant because, it's the game. He has hits,
it's the game.
he's respected, like he has good songs and I do like some of his songs.
Yeah,
But 30, I saw 30 songs and I didn't I was like I'm not listening to this. I don't have the time.
no, not even close. Not even close. Like we have stuff to do.
It's
There are things we need to go do.
30 songs.
We're
It
grown
is and
adults.
it's an hour and 55 minutes.
Fuck that.
I can watch a
No
movie.
way.
I'd rather watch a movie.
That is literally a Game of Thrones episode.
Bro.
It's insane.
Yeah,
Insane.
I'd rather watch an uncle seduce his niece.
Literally. Like I had to rewatch that episode to get ready for the new one coming out.
Yeah,
Like
for
today,
content.
as we're
For
as we're
context,
recording.
people. That was a House of Dragons reference.
Yes. I literally just watched that episode, rewatched it so I can get ready for this new one. But yeah, okay, so my thing is I'm of the headspace personally where you shouldn't be making a 30 track album, period.
No.
Regardless of relevancy or popularity, 30 tracks is egregious. It's
Yeah,
insane.
but I feel like not maybe not Drake because Drake doesn't make that kind of music. I feel like if The Weeknd put out a 30 song album and it's like a concept album, yes, there are a lot of people who wouldn't listen to it, but there are people like me where I'd be like, I'll have to set aside some time in my schedule to listen to this.
I
But
guess.
like if Rick Ross drops a 30 song album, I'm not listening to 30 songs that are just him going, "Oh, I own Wingstop." Oh,
Literally. Like
yeah.
it's so dumb. But okay, so as far as like tracks, like track lists and numbers of tracks go, what do you think is like the sweet spot for an album?
I think my perfect amount is 12 songs because I feel like 10. I don't know why. I'm very I could be the odd man out. I feel like 10 is a little too short, even though it's good. I think 10's good, but like once I listen to 5 songs, I'm already halfway through. I feel like that's too quick.
Yeah.
I'll go. A good range is 10 to 15, but my perfect sweet spot is 12.
Yeah, I think it's got to be between 8 and 15 for me.
Okay.
Between 8 and 15 cuz I think 8 is like one of those things where it's like 8 is hilarious to me because it's like you could have 8 fire tracks, but you also have less room for misses.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So like the rate, like the how the album could be rated could be a lot lower, uh, just off the fact that you have less album to work with in terms of just overall hits or overall like quality, I guess. The problem is but then there's the same thing for like albums that are over 20 tracks because there's more chances for you to have a bad song. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not the artist that makes versatile music,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying,
It
or
gets old.
has the ability to be versatile, it gets really old. Recently the new Rod Wave album. That shit is 22 tracks, I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, Beautiful Mind is 24 tracks. I'm corrected. 24 tracks. And I want to say, well, we'll go we'll go 20 we'll go 22 because I think two of them are interludes. But it's 20 yeah, so 22 tracks and I want to say 70% of them sound exactly the same.
Mhm.
And
And
Rod
that's
Wave
that.
has a
Rod Wave is like, I like Rod Wave.
yeah.
He's good, but I understand what you're saying. He's not very like he's not gonna bust out a fucking love ballad in one song and then like a fucking I'm a lyrical spiritual miracle type. So
Yeah,
like
that's not
it all
his.
sounds the same. Yeah.
That's not his style. And like he has a very his formula for song making um like gives him room to be not to be like hit on too hard, but I think for me it kind of gets kind of repetitive because it's basically just like hook, one verse that's not that long honestly,
Mhm.
and then the hook, and then that's it.
Mhm.
And like he'll like go on some runs the very end, and he'll like he'll talk through on the back end of the song.
Yeah.
How that usually goes, and that's the end of the song. He does that for 24 songs, 22 songs, and like by track 8, honestly, by track 8, I'm like, okay, like it's kind of getting to the point where it's repetitive. And again, I like Rod Wave. I think Rod Wave is
Yeah.
one of my favorite artists, like right now. But like I may have only picked out like at the max like 5 songs off of his album that I really will come back to listening to because everything
Sure.
else sounds exactly the same. Um,
To For an artist to put out a long album, they have to be a special artist, like personally, for me to like sit down and listen to them because fucking Faces by Mac Miller, that's
yes,
one of my favorite albums he's ever put out. It's 25 songs. If it wasn't Mac Miller, it would not be I what Mac Miller is one of my favorites all time. If it wasn't him, I
yeah,
probably would not have listened to that album.
yeah. It just depends on what you're looking for, like,
Yeah.
and what the artist is trying to accomplish um with their like, album. Like, it's funny. I looked up Outkast, Speakerbox, and The Love Below. It's a double album.
It's huge, isn't it?
It's like 40 songs, 30 songs. No,
Yeah,
it's like 40
again,
songs.
again, that's what I was saying earlier. If like right now, because they put that out, they were peak. That was when Outkast was like ruled fucking the world. If The Weeknd put out an album like that now and it was like a concept, like imagine he held After Hours and Dawn FM and he releases it with the third one he's making and he releases it all together. I feel like it could work.
Like
But
if he released the trilogy as an entire project instead of just the mixtape series.
yeah,
You know what I'm
even
saying?
though it'd be long, and I guarantee a bunch of people on TikTok and Twitter would be like, "Oh, it's so fucking long," it still would bang because it's the weekend. But like Drake can't do that, especially now.
Yeah, I can't sit through a 40-song Drake album. I'm not
No.
doing that. Not even close.
You
Not
know what's
even
really
remotely
funny?
close.
You know what's really funny? Another one of my favorite Mac albums might be his shortest. The Divine Feminine. It's 10 songs.
Yeah. It's only yeah. And it's short, it's to the point. It gets what it says what it needs to be said and kind of wraps it all up easily. And then you have fucking 30 I'm sorry, like I didn't have the chance to rant about this now. Or to rant about this back then, so I can do it now. 30 tracks is insane.
30
For a
tracks
rapper,
of I used to be on Aftermath.
yeah, honestly, like it's 30 tracks of like lies. Like the game is one of the funniest the game is one of the funniest liars ever. Like if it's just 30 tracks of him just making bold claims. Like I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear him make bold claims for 2 hours. I'm not trying to do that.
Who's a better liar, the game or Rick Ross?
I'd argue LeBron is the worst liar of all three of them.
LeBron?
LeBron is a terrible liar, bro. You
What
gotta
the
watch
fuck?
it. There's a whole, just random tangent. There's like a reel. I used to see it on Twitter a lot where people would just like, it was like LeBron's like in interviews, and he would just straight up lie about about like being in a certain like time and place or like having this experience of a moment that he definitely was not a part of. It's actually really funny.
Well, what about when Rick Ross said she got her legs wrapped around my waist?
Oh yeah, no, like that's it, insane lie, absolutely insane. Um, but the game, like I remember watching his Drink Champs episode. That
Uh-huh.
shit is wild because it's like
Oh my god, I know what you're talking about.
it's like bro, like just unprovoked lying. Honestly, him and Kevin Gates too. Kevin Gates is a terrible liar too.
Yeah, but the thing is, Kevin Gates is funny.
He's hilarious.
Have
He's
you
also a
seen?
weirdo though.
He's weird. Have
He's
you
also
seen
a
that
weirdo.
that TikTok of the old white lady at a Kevin Gates concert, and
Yes.
you just hear him going, ah, eat it up like.
It's insane.
He's weird. He cried on his
Nah,
last album in a song.
I, I know. I remember you showing me the song. I was like, this is
It was
crazy.
I kind of like the song, but in the middle of it, he's just like,
There's a certain type of artist that can kind of get away with that, and I don't think Kevin Gates is one of them. Like to to contrast that, like I don't know if you do you remember the album Absolutely by Dijon? I don't know if you
sure,
listened to it. It was one of
yeah,
my favorite albums of the year last year.
yeah, yeah.
There's a song called Rodeo Clown, and during the song Rodeo Clown, he's crying on the mic. But due to the context of the song and how he's singing it,
Mhm.
like you can tell like he's like you know how like somebody's like voice is like quivering when they're talking and they're getting
Sure.
upset? That's how he's singing. So when he actually cries, it makes sense.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? As opposed to Kevin Gates just turn on the waterworks in the song and I'm like, wait, oh hold on. Oh man. No, but it's yeah, so I think, between 8 and 15 is the sweet spot,
Okay.
honestly, because there's just so much. Let me see. Hold on.
Do you remember when Chris Brown dropped the 30-song album?
I was literally about to look that up.
But okay, but he he's so fucking stupid. He dropped it on a Tuesday, and they count the weeks Friday to Friday.
Yeah.
So he dropped it on Tuesday, and then they charted his album on Friday, even though he didn't get a full week. So it charted pretty low, and then he got mad because he was like, "It should be charted on Tuesday," and then everyone was like, "That's not how the music industry works, homeboy."
Yeah. He's been around for how long?
Yeah,
What is the name of that album?
it's something on Christmas. It's like, also, yeah, it's not a Christmas album. I thought it was.
Hold on. I'm about to look this up. Is it Heartbreak on a Full Moon? Is that the one?
Why do you think Christmas? Does it look like a Christmas album?
Hold on. It's it's a weird it's like the moon and like a beating heart it's that's like dripping in the middle of it. The cover art's kind of
Oh my god, it's
bullshit. It's also
45!
45 tracks. It's a 45 track.
What the fuck? It's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I don't know why I thought this was a Christmas album. Dude, I don't know a
Oh,
single song off this album.
dude, holy shit. It's
How do you
45
drop
tracks.
how does someone as big as Chris Brown, despite people liking him or not, drop
Oh
45
shit.
songs and I don't know a single one?
That's insane. Oh, holy shit, bro. I'm crying. That's so funny. It's so funny. So funny. Oh man. Oh shit. Okay.
Is
Oh
there
man,
any
yeah, that's
song off this
hilarious.
that was on the radio?
Let me see. No, he even has like some decent features on here too. Oh god, he has an R. Kelly feature. Yeah, throw this album in
Oh,
the trash.
hell no.
Throw this album in the garbage.
Oh god, I make the mistake of clicking on his name. Have you seen the cover art for his last single?
His album or his single?
The last single he dropped.
No.
Bro's trying to tap into the anime fans.
Oh no. Oh no. What is this? Oh god. Is that supposed to be Sasuke or Itachi? I can't know. I can't
I
tell.
I thought it was Sasuke.
It's probably Sasuke. But like what? Huh? Okay, whatever. But 45 tracks, an R. Kelly feature. This shit is insane.
Listen, I knew Chris Brown was bad when did I tell you this already?
What?
Oh no, it wasn't on the podcast. I knew Chris Brown was bad when he made me not like a Young Thug album.
Oh god.
The mixtape that he dropped with Young Thug,
Yeah.
I fucking hated that shit so bad.
Yeah, it was not good. But yeah, dude, 45 tracks is insane. I thought his was like 25 or 22. I thought it was like, I thought it was long but not anything crazy. Like that you literally just he just like walked in the studio and like published every single song he made in that session.
No one in his team said, "Hey, maybe let's not drop this one."
Or like, hey, let's maybe shave this down a little bit. Maybe like give us I know we got 45, shave it down to like 20.
You don't have to drop every song you make. You know how many
That's
unreleased songs Pimp C had before he died?
exactly.
He has like 1,000
What's
unreleased songs.
it's, exactly. What's so funny is that you see like these artists that have like they'll post their board of all the tracks that they've made or tracks that they're like working on,
Yeah.
and it'll be like 40 something, and like only like 10 come out.
Yeah.
Chris Brown literally checked off every song on that board. Like that's
And
insane.
for no good reason either. Because again, I don't know any song off that album.
Bro, it's crazy. I try to like think of the songs, but no. Like every song, zero clue what they are. Oh shit, that was funny. I realized it was 45.
We both noticed at the same time.
Literally.
Oh shit.
Um yeah, okay, so moving on, because we got that out of the way. Moving on. There are some album reviews that we want to kind of
Uh-huh.
cover. There are three albums I want to talk about. I don't know if we can get to all three for me. There's definitely one that you want to talk about that I will definitely get to that. But first, it's one that, or two that both of us listened to. And I want to get into the review of The Forever Story by JID. Zoe, I'll start with you.
Bro.
What rating would you give this? It's been, what, like 2 weeks since it's been out, right?
Bro.
So after listening to it, what is the review you give it?
it the one word that comes out of my head when thinking about that album is that it's different in a good way. Maybe not different for him, but I mean different in the sense of just where rap is right now. I think rap is kind of boring. Maybe like mainstream rap, I would say, like big names, like because J.I.D. is signed to Dreamville, so that's what I mean by mainstream. Even though maybe J.I.D. doesn't get any like radio play, but like I would consider him mainstream, not in a
Yeah,
negative connotation, not like ugh he's mainstream. But I'm talking about for like big time rappers with like production and signed to labels. It's different and it shook up. At least when it came out, I found rap very boring, and this it's just it might be the best rap album of the year. I think. I can't think of another album that kind of like compares to it. At least for this year.
yeah.
And just fucking
No, go ahead.
everything about it, because like songs like Dance Now and Crack Sandwich, they're like hype. But
Yeah,
then he'll drop shit like Cody Blue 31, Brother Them, Sister Them, like those are like just good fucking like storytelling, or like feel good, like it's something you gotta think about.
yeah,
It's fucking good. And he's got production by fucking James Blake, and uh, it's fucking good. It's a good fucking album. It's like
yeah.
I don't like to give tens off the board. I wait till the end of the year for that. But
Hmm.
it definitely a 9 out of 10.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, this is a 10 for me. And it's probably so what's funny is I had Pusha T's album, It's Almost Dry, as my album of the year already, like cuz I just thought it was a phenomenal tape.
Mhm.
This might have taken it, honestly. I know like it's still kind of early and there are a couple people that I'm waiting on to drop albums to kind of see how they shake out, but as it stands right now, this is probably my album of the year. One thing I can say about this, like I know you kind of how you talked about it. I think it's like a breath of fresh air, honestly,
Yes, yes.
for rap. I know, like it's I could definitely see where you're coming from in terms of just the overall boringness or like the kind of repetitiveness of how rap's been kind of going lately. So this is just like one of those tracks where you kind of you hear the bars are there, the technical rapping is there, the flows are there, the production is also there though, and then you also get situations where you have those features and rappers that are like prevalent now. You got the Lil Durk feature, you got the 21 Savage feature, you got the Young Baby Tate feature, you got the Lil Wayne feature, but then you have shit like the Yasin Bey or Mos Def feature, which is my favorite feature on this album
Yeah, bro, that song is
is
so fucking good.
insane. Like he did a you can honestly like with the amount of beat switches in this album, there are like maybe like 6 or 7 other songs that could have been made to be put on this album,
Sure.
which is crazy. Um, and honestly, I just like the overall theme of it, and I think the it's a cool tie-in to his first album. And I remember like when he dropped the Never Story, I was all in on it. I thought he was gonna be. I kind of figured like after listening to him and that album, I was like, he's gonna be the one. Like he's gonna be
Hmm.
the next guy coming up. I think he's gonna be like the one for real. And then, so far, he's proven me right so far. But
Hell yeah.
and like to kind of take the Never story and then kind of improve on it. Honestly, is what it seems like. He's kind of improved on that story that he's trying to tell everybody. We're like, hey, this is what happened to me. This is what my family life is like. Was what my mental looks like. This is how everything came together for me. And I think it's just a great album to kind of get him into the position he's in now. Um, Favorite songs though, like he has Crack Sandwich is definitely a big one. Um, it kind of reminds me of like how Kendrick Lamar used to do his storytelling a little bit.
Sure.
like just being able to fluently tell a story without really making it seem like you're just narrating. You're like actually rapping. Um, Money is
Money is
Money
so fucking good.
is so good, and I think it reminded me a lot of like early Lil Wayne, like the Carter albums.
Hell yeah.
That's not, like when I was listening
Yeah,
to it,
yeah,
and
that's a good
the
comparison
the chorus kind of seems like
with all the
a song.
kids.
Yes, like it seems like a song that would end up being on like the Carter Three or something like Carter Two. You know what I'm saying? Something
Yeah.
like that. Um, but yeah, like his and then my favorite track, like that I listen to all the time that I will continuously come back to, is Brother Them, but just because of the obviously the familial the family aspect of it, with me being an older brother, and then also having family brother Them and sister Them, honestly, both of them together because the family aspect of it, having being an older brother, but also having like cousins that serve as older sisters by proxy. You know what I'm saying? So, and even having like the really tight knit family that's very protective over each other and understand like what's going on with each other and like having each other's back is like really big. But yeah, I don't really give too many tens out honestly. But I think that one might be one that I definitely give it out to. There's other albums that I'm kind of waiting for to come out.
Mhm.
I know Smino is probably going to drop in October.
Ooh.
I'm waiting for some other people like that, but I think this one is definitely a 10 out of 10. There's one more that I'll get into. Well, honestly, what's funny is the other two albums I kind of want to talk about might are close to being tens for me as well,
Oh shit.
and it's one of them because it's really good. The other one because of how because of the context behind the album and what it means. But whatever. But so like speaking of that one, we're gonna get into Louis, the beat tape from Kenny Beats.
Okay. Yeah.
The beat tape from Kenny Beats. So again, Zoe, what do you I know I sent it to you. I don't know if you like knew that album was coming or not, but I kind of was tracking it for a minute, and I remember I sent it to you when it dropped. Like, what are you thinking about when it comes to that album?
I think it's yeah, I really like Kenny Beats. Um I think he's one of the better producers in general. I think he has so much range when it comes to just like, dude, he was in an EDM group, you know? He was in Loud Pack. And then he said, "Fuck it. I don't want to do EDM anymore." Starts doing hip hop, but like not only hip hop, he could do like soft R&B. He did fucking a Spanish song or a few Spanish songs with Omar Apollo. Um,
Yeah,
uh, he does a lot of. He
he
just has so
executive
much
produced like
range.
a rock album too.
But I was just about to fucking say that the Cave episode with Kenny Mason, like
Mm-hmm.
he and also fucking JPEG Mafia, like he could do whatever the fuck he wants. So I was kind of excited when you told me. I think you sent me the tweet like, "Oh, Louis comes out this week." I was like, I didn't even fucking know he was dropping an album.
Yeah.
Um, I like it. I think I don't know why I was underwhelmed. Maybe I expected too much, but it's not bad. I wouldn't say it's like a. I'm not trying like I know I sound negative, but it's not like a 5 out of 10. I would say it's like an 8, 7 out of 10. There
Yeah.
are. It's just it hasn't pulled me back in like the Forever Story or the album I want to get into later in the episode. Um,
Yeah.
but I have listened to it a few times. It's a good beat tape, and it's not like it's not like someone like Swum. I know we both listen to Swum, where
Yeah.
it's just lo-fi when it comes to beat tapes of his. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of variety in this, which again is what you can expect from Kenny Beats. And I find the surprise features are a good. Like I was driving
Yeah.
around and then I hear like Vince Staples' voice and I'm like, oh shit, okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
I like the album
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. I think this album for me is I gave it a lot higher of a rating due to the context behind the album and like what it means and currently stuff like going on in my own life. So I gave it like a 9.5, 10. Jesus, out of 10 because I kind of recently found out that Kenny. Jesus Christ, I can't talk right now. Hold on.
Get some water.
Oh, I'm dying. Oh God, I'm dying over here. All right. Yeah. Okay, we're back. Jesus. I kind of found out that Kenny Beats was made the album um as like an homage, like a gift to his dad, who recently got diagnosed with cancer.
Oh
And
shit.
so when you like listen to the album, it's very nostalgic and it's very uh, reminiscent on like the times when Kenny would interact with his dad or and it's also like a culmination of everything Kenny's done up until this point. Like everything, every person he's worked with, all the people he's kind of come across in this journey in like the hip hop space,
Mhm.
you can kind of tell like it's something that's been building up to this point where he's made this solo album. And there are a couple songs that really kind of hit home for me, having recently lost my grandfather in July, and so like listening to those songs and also kind of experiencing that and going through that kind of made it hit a little bit harder for me on an emotional level. And then like when you get, I don't know, each song is very versatile and different, and they kind of tell their own little story and have their own little things behind them. Um, some of my favorites, probably Still with the JPEG Mafia feature.
Yeah.
Um, Also Omar Apollo with the on the vocals on that, which I did not realize until
Oh
later on.
shit.
It's Omar singing that,
Oh my
like the little
god.
little chorus thing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
Omar
yeah.
Apollo. And then JPEG's like kind of adding a little bit of stuff in there. You know what I think he did? I think he took like vocal tracks from unfinished songs that
I
just aren't going to see the light of day, and then put it on the beat.
I figured because what does JPEG do? He's just like, oh, yeah,
Yeah, he's just like giving ad libs, or he give like a little mini verse, like nothing crazy.
yeah. I doubt Kenny brought him in just to do ad libs. Like he had those
Exactly,
on deck.
exactly. Family Tree with Slow Tie is
That one's
great.
real. Oh, that's right. Fuck it. When Slow Tie started rapping, that was fucking sick.
Yeah. Um, Get Around with Dijon, love that one.
Mhm.
Absolutely love that one. And then my favorite of all of them is probably Last Words, just because of the kind of connotation behind it and what it talks about.
Sure.
Because it has Fushi and Vince Staples adding ad libs on there. Just kind of because of the fact that I kind of thought about my grandfather listening to the song, and it was one of those really emotional moments for me. So I think that's one of my favorite songs that I'll kind of keep with me for a while. But yeah, so I think this album is great. Um, I think it's a good. I don't know if Kenny Beats will ever drop any more solo projects, but I hope that he continues on his run, because his run in music and as far as beat production has been crazy. And I've been wanting more cave episodes, honestly. If we're
Yeah,
being
same,
honest,
bro.
I just need more of those cave episodes. I honestly, what was the last one he did? Was it with the Kenny Mason one, right? Or was it a different one?
I think he dropped one after that. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know, but I need those to come back because they were really good.
You know.
Um, Especially the Vince Staples one. The Kenny Mason one's honestly a good one. The Vince Staples one was funny just because of how much it became a meme. Like, do you
And he
remember?
beats is the police.
Kenny Pieces of Police was one of the funniest lines ever.
My favorite cave verse is JPEG Mafia's, and
Yes.
I'm so sad that that was the first episode, and they like it's like a 5 minute video because they barely
Yeah.
spent time on the production.
Yeah, because like it was. I think that they were trying to figure out what exactly the cave was
Yeah,
gonna be,
yeah,
and like once they kind of got around to like understanding that it's more kind of about the interaction of the banter between Kenny and the artist instead of
mhm,
the actual song itself. I think that's when everything started to get a little bit better. I do hate the fact that it's like 5 minutes. Because in the very next episode is what, the Freddie Gibbs episode,
Yeah,
and like that one is a little bit longer because he's like talking to Kenny and like having like these jokes and stuff. And his verse is fire too, by the way.
yeah, no, yeah, it is.
Yeah,
But I
Freddie Gibbs
just
went
fucking
crazy
JPEG Mafia went crazy on that, and then he has that verse
on his
on
album.
his album. All My Heroes Are
All my
Cornballs,
yes,
but he changed the beat.
yeah, and I was so pissed. I was
Yes.
pissed about that. I was so mad. But like this, he added an extra verse on top of it though,
Yeah, he did.
and it sounds good. That
Yeah,
album's good, by the way. Random tangent, but that album's pretty
that
good.
was good.
But yeah, I remember like I saw what does the track say? It says like Kenny Beats freestyle, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it says Kenny Beats or the Cave Freestyle.
What does it say? Yeah, it's where the heck is it? Dots freestyle remix.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah, Dots freestyle remix. But man, I'm pissed. It's not the same beat because that beat goes crazy. By the way.
Oh my God,
Yeah, man,
Kenny
but
never misses.
he really doesn't. Um, I need him and Kenny Mason to make more music. Like I know
I
we
need
talked about
JID and
him.
Kenny Mason to make more music together.
That's also true because Dance Now and
Dance
Just in
now,
Time
dance.
and just in Time off that album are great. And Kenny Mason has no verse really. It's just
Listen,
chorus.
the I don't even need those two songs to sell me on a JID Kenny album. Their verse on Stick together,
Phenomenal.
because they just trade off that verse,
Yeah,
and it's so fucking good.
it's great. You know what's funny? I don't know how you felt about the entire project as a whole. The little like Doomsday tape.
There were good songs on it.
They were decent songs, but I feel like Stick overshadowed all of them, and like nobody else really thinks about any other song except for like obviously Stick, and then the Heavens EP freestyle that Cole did for on the what song is that? The Drake that Drake song. What is it called? Pipe Down. The Pipe Down remix that he made. But like those two songs, are the only ones I really come back to. Stick goes crazy.
Bro, it makes me sprint while running.
Like you hear DJ Drama just come in and you just go, "Oh shit, here we go."
Yeah. My favorite songs on there were Stick and Hair Salon. I really liked Hair Salon.
Hair song's good. Yeah,
Did that
yeah,
come out
yeah.
this year? Yeah, it did.
They dropped it like wasn't it like a surprise album too. They just
Yeah.
randomly just like put it out. Or some
Stick
shit like
goes
that.
so fucking crazy. Even Sheck West fucking goes nutty out there.
Oh my god. Yeah. No. Oh, speaking of coming back to album lengths, never in my life. If Sheck West ever drops an album that's more
Oh,
than 10 songs,
nah,
get that
dog.
shit the fuck out of here.
I don't want to put this out there because this is on the internet and could be sent to everyone. I have not listened to a Sheck West album. Period.
It's literally just Mo Bamba, which is a song for white people, if we're keeping it a buck.
Do you want sicko mode or more Bamba?
More, yeah, honestly. Even though, yeah, bro, we played that song at the at your friend's like frat themed party. I was
Uh-huh.
like, bro, this has brought me back to P. I'm repping it right now too. Peabody University, baby.
That was solely for my boy Alva.
Oh God, bro, that song is ridiculous. All right, so the album that you want to get into,
Okay.
what? Yes, let's go ahead. Let's get into that.
Now listen here, folks. This album has been out for 2 days at the time of this recording.
Oh
And
Jesus,
and for me, it's a top 10 of the year.
really?
I think it's great. I think it's called Decide by Joe, DJO. And for those of you who don't know, that is Joe Keery's stage name. Joe Keery plays Steve Harrington on Stranger Things. And he has a few other movie roles and stuff like that. It's very it's an indie album. but it's like new wave inspired, like 80s
Yeah, it's
ish.
funny. It's funny because listening to the first like couple tracks when you sent it to me, I literally go like it's very on brand, very par for the course for somebody that worked on Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, definitely. Uh,
You could definitely hear it and hear the Stranger Things like influence on a lot of the
yeah.
tracks on there.
Um, my favorite songs are Gloom. Gloom is such a banger. Half Life is good. End of Beginning. Figure You Out. Those are my favorite songs on there, and it's just I just find it very interesting. What I've been thinking to myself recently, like the type of music that I like, just like
Hmm.
how to explain it. I just say I just it's interesting music, at least to me. You know, it's all subjective. Um,
Yeah,
Whatever interests me, and I guess I'm just a big fan of the '80s vibe. I love '80s
yeah.
music. I love '80s horror movies. Stranger Things, I love, but the fucking fans on TikTok make me want to socially distance my head from my fucking neck because it's so fucking cringy. God damn, I can't enjoy one thing.
Oh, bro, I haven't even
I
really like watched this newest season either, so I don't
I
even
like
know
Kingdom
how
Hearts,
bad.
and then all the fans are cringy. I get into FNAF, all the fans are fucking weird. I like My Hero Academia,
I knew it.
all the
Oh, and then I was
fans are fucking weird. I had one thing. I had Stranger Things left, and now all the fans just post the weirdest shit on TikTok, and they think they're super cool, and then they start singing the fucking song that got famous.
Over the hill. That
Yes.
song got beat into the ground.
God damn.
That song's good though, but it got beat into the ground.
I know, but fucking Stranger Things fans, chill. I can't have one thing in this house.
Honestly, it's crazy.
But besides that, yes, I'm very big fan of just the '80s uh aesthetic. So this album spoke to me, not emotionally, but aesthetically. Um and I like Steve Harrington. I think he's my favorite one of my favorite characters in the show. So that's why I was like, oh, I'll check this out. Cause I know like bro, almost everyone in that cast makes music.
Yeah,
But like this is the only one that I decided to listen to. And I'm glad because I really do like the album. Um there's a song called Half Life, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he samples.
like the game,
I
like
think
one of
so.
the game soundtracks.
I think in the beginning.
Hmm. I
How many
would
songs
try to
did you
listen
listen
to it,
to?
but this is the first like 4 or 5. I think I got busy and didn't get a chance to finish it. I do think like Fool and On are pretty good from what I heard.
Yeah,
Gloom is a great track.
it's a
Um,
banger.
but I haven't finished it yet. So that's out my plan to kind of listen all the way through at some point.
Figure You Out is very good. It's towards the end.
Hmm.
Also, it's 13 songs.
Easy
Perfect length.
for 36 minutes. I think that also plays into it too. I know coming back to that question, coming back to the topic, how long is the album? I know the track list is like, it'd be like 18 songs, but if the overall time limit of the overall body of work is long too, then it's like, bro, what are we doing here? Like the games, that shit's like an hour and a half, and then Chris Brown's 45 track escapade is like 2 hours, almost 3 hours long.
I remember before Tory Lanez was excommunicated for good
That's
reason.
one.
I don't
That's
want
one
to
way. Yeah,
I don't want to
yeah,
sound
that's
like
one
an
way to.
angry Republican here.
Yeah, no, no, no. I'm laughing because that's definitely a one way to put his situation.
Before he was a hated person, I was a big fan of his. Um, like early Tory, like 2015, 2016. I remember he dropped an album called "I Told You." Uh,
Yes.
to be honest, the album's not that good, but I looked at it and it's 28 songs, and I was like, "What? Why is it so fucking long?" But it's only it's only like an hour,
Yeah.
because this this dumbass made a skit for every single song. So
Oh boy.
technically, the album's half of that.
Yeah.
The album's like, what's half of 28? Like 13, 14, 15 songs.
Yeah.
But he just made a fucking skit for everything, and so it's like an annoying thing to listen to because it's not like a skit and then like a few tracks.
Yeah.
It's like a skit, a
It,
track, a skit, a track.
skit tracks it. Yeah. I don't know. That's always a weird thing too, because it's like if you're trying to listen to something all the way through, it's like, bro,
Which I
sometimes
do.
the skits kill me sometimes.
I do that a lot. I like listening through albums. And
Yeah.
if it's like a regular skit, I know we always bring this up, but like I'll always listen to broke, five broke. We
Yeah.
ain't
Okay.
got
That
it.
skits the might be one of the best skit like runs ever is the
But
broke five broke ones.
but getting into the mind of Kanye before he was crazy, he knew where to play skits.
Yeah.
Even fucking Eminem on the Eminem show, he had a few skits on there, and that's like a pretty good album.
Yeah. And like the skits don't take away from anything and they don't make it hard to listen to. I'll
Yeah,
say the most recent Wasteland from Brent Faiyaz. Those skits are pretty decent.
they don't take away from the album.
Yeah.
You can't make a
And
skit
then
for every fucking song.
yeah, it's ridiculous. You can't do that. Or like having the skit in the song, like when the song's over. Oh, I hate that so much. Like I love the Rags, Robots, and Rich and Royalty EP series from Earth Gang,
Yeah.
but Rags having an interlude, having some kind of like skit at the of DC Young Fly talking at the end of every song kills the songs for me. Like kills them.
You also
Like
have to have the right person. I mean, I like DC Young Fly, but I
yeah, and I
guess
think
if
his
listening to a whole album, I can see how that takes away from it.
yeah.
But
It's just an EP though. It's only like 6 songs.
Amine having Ricky Thompson
At the
is
beginning of Doctor Whoever,
fucking
yeah.
phenomenal.
Yes.
Ricky Thompson is so fucking funny.
He's hilarious. He's in a bunch of his music videos too.
Ha ha! I love that.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's funny. But I think with DC Young Fly one, it's just because the songs are shorter and it's only like 6 tracks. So like you
Yeah,
can kind of just skip to the next one if you want to. If you listen to it all the way through, like there's a obvious storyline
yeah,
progressing throughout the entire EP. And he makes more appearances. He makes appear like he's in Rags, he appears in Robots, and he appears in Royalty. What they did between Robots and Royalty is they made separate skit tracks for him instead of having him at the end of every song.
uh,
Which so when you listen to Robots and Royalty, it's way easier to listen to because like you know the skit track's coming, so you can skip it instead
sure.
of at the end of the song "Meditate," which is one of my favorite songs on Earth Gang songs because it's Earth Gang and JID.
Uh,
As soon as the song ends, you hear "Lift them titties up," and you're like, "Oh my
yeah,
god, here we go, gotta skip it."
yeah.
It's like,
Um,
bruh,
who I'm trying to think of who's at the end of Ali Boumaier by the game. Now we're
is it
going
Kevin?
full circle. It's Kevin
Is it
Hart.
Kevin Hart? Yeah,
That's a good skit.
I
Even though
actually
it's at
like.
the
Yeah,
end,
it's funny.
he's talking about his Jesus piece because the next song coming up is Jesus piece.
Yes,
And I love that he goes, "Oh, here comes Kanye. I gotta put it away," because Kanye starts the next song.
yes,
See,
yeah. I think
that's a good skit. But again, not that whole album doesn't have a skit everywhere.
yeah, like if you were to put that song in a playlist and then that skit comes up at the end, you're like, oh, I gotta skip it now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? If you're listening to the album all the way through, then it works.
yeah,
I think that's probably the issue with it though. It's like if you put like, can you put that song in your regular rotation? Because like if you're trying to like listen to like a playlist and just kind of get through all the songs and a skit happens at the end of it, it's like it doesn't really fit what I'm trying
and
to do.
it's a pretty long. It's like a minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah, no, that skit's long as fuck.
Yeah,
That skit's long. The DC Youngfly ones are long too.
yeah,
Like it has its own separate like soundtrack. Like when you hear this little like weird alienish soundtrack like playing in the background while he's talking. It's like he goes for a minute. It's like, yeah, but it's
I don't mean to self plug here, but my band, we're working on an album, and Sevi had a good idea for the middle song on the
yeah,
album. Uh, it's like a radio break. So like it's a skit, but again, we have it separated. It's not connected to anything. But I think it's kind of funny because we also made music for it technically.
yeah,
Because like Sevi made radio jingles, and I recorded like "Welcome to Jimmy Jellyfish's Scuba Jamboree," where we have like the
yeah.
best. It's kind of funny, but again, for that album, we don't have a skit on every song. I think that's the main takeaway of this conversation is don't make a skit for every song,
Every fucking song, bro. Don't do that.
especially if your album's short.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's what's funny? There's one of my favorite albums, my favorite album ever, The Sun's Triad from Isaiah Rashad.
Yeah,
He has I can't is it Punch that's talking or somebody else? I can't remember. But like
someone from TDE.
yeah, some of them TD's like talking in through some of them, whatever. And they're quick skits, but there's one song in particular that kind of gets me annoyed because the following song doesn't associate with that skit at all. And it's annoying because like how I listen to the album, I usually just put the song that's associated with it next.
Sure.
So like so basically the song Silk the Shaka, right? With Sid, one of my favorite songs ever. At the end, the guy's talking about how he can't like find a topic for what he wants to rap about or talk about. And he's like, bro, find a topic. Like you guys are so complicated all the time, and like you want to talk about this and that and whatever. He's like, find a fucking topic or whatever. And the next song is Titty and Dollar, which is a great song, right? But then the song track 17 after the outro, by the way, mind you,
Hmm.
is Find a Topic, which talks about finding a topic to rap about.
Yeah.
And I was like, just put that song next. Like, what
Yeah.
are we doing? So, but yeah,
It's
I don't know,
Tarantino
it's a
style
minor.
storytelling.
I guess they're just jumping around from place to place. But it's like, and then there's one like at the end of they like dress like rappers where the guy's like, no, it's crazy, bro. Like the fact you're born in like 2000 something or whatever. Like I'm so old, or it's basically talking about like how it's crazy that he was born in a certain like date and time or whatever. Like I think like early 2000s, and then like that skit has nothing to do with the rest of the
Sure.
album at all. But it's like one of those things.
You know
Yeah,
what's you know what's crazy that I just thought of like right now?
what?
It's I think it's awesome when you can tell a story without using skits,
Yes.
like Vince Staples' Prima Donna.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He has a whole story, and like it's all like that whole thing. It's backwards, like he's telling it backwards.
Like you can listen to it either way. You can listen to it front to back or back to front.
But there's no skits on that, and I think
Mm-mm.
that's super fucking cool.
But there are very eerie interludes at the end of some of those songs where he's like, where like it's the song will end and you kind of just hear it like this weird, like him singing, and it's
Uh,
like this weird. His voice is like modulated,
yeah,
and it only goes on for like 10 seconds maybe, but it's like it's not like it's very unsettling. I think that's the point though.
yeah,
I think the
yeah.
point
Because
is
the story was about so like the a star committing suicide. No.
it's either if you listen to it from
Front to back.
front to back, it's an artist kind of going through the stages of being famous and then handling the pressure of it and eventually committing suicide. I think, and if you listen to it back to front, I think it's a guy getting killed and then like going through like purgatory, I think, or some
Uh-huh.
shit like that. I think that's what that means.
Yeah.
I might have to do more research on that. That'll be like a follow up
Sure.
comment on the next episode. But I'm pretty sure that's how that works. Because like the same thing with Damn, like how technically
That's the one he gets shot in the beginning.
how technically Kendrick Lamar's supposed to die in the beginning, and
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
or but you can listen to it the other way, like you listen to like how he like his origin story, and then he goes through all that, and then eventually dies. You know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
one of those things.
I
So,
just remembered fucking uh Out of Time by The Weeknd.
mm-hmm,
Great fucking song. It might be my favorite song off that album.
mm-hmm,
Ends with Jim Carrey.
mm-hmm.
Don't touch that dial. And it's like,
Yeah. Yes.
which Jim
Yes.
Carrey is great. I love Jim Carrey and I love the concept of that album. But if I'm like with a girl, I'm not trying to think of The Weeknd going through purgatory.
You try to serenade, try to spit game with this girl while Out of Time's playing, and all of a sudden you
And
hear,
then you
"Don't you
just
touch
hear
that dial?
Jim Carrey being like, "We're going to heaven." Like, come on.
Don't you touch that dial?" It's like, oh my god! It's like, what? It's like, Jim, get out of here. Uh,
Concept is great.
yeah,
Just
no, I feel like that song only works in the album and not as like a standalone song.
it's no, it's way too good. It does work as a standalone song.
I mean, it does. But I think like the end part of it, it's like
Yeah.
gotta skip as soon
Yeah.
as you hear that. Oh yeah, but what we doing on time? Oh, pretty good. Last album I'll talk about for me,
Sure.
and it'll be quick and it's nothing too crazy, and it's an album I give like an 8, and it's Age, Sex, Location from Ari Lennox.
I have not heard it.
It okay, just to know me, like I'm a big R&B fan. I'm a big fan of SZA, big fan of Ari Lennox, big fan of everybody.
Mm.
Same thing with like Summer Walker too. The This album is great, and it's one of those things that she kind of like chronicles a lot of her dating woes, and but not in a way. I hope and pray that I can word this correctly, so that it doesn't come off as being weird. She talks about her dating woes in a way that's not like anti men, if that makes sense.
Okay.
She talks about her dating woes in the concept of like of issues that certain men have done, like that certain things that have been said to her, and certain experiences that she's had with men, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yeah.
So it's not like she's saying, obviously that's not the case, like all men are bad, but like, you know what I'm saying, the first track is called Plenty of Fish, and basically the line goes, the phrase, "There's plenty of fish in the sea, but could somebody tell me why all these lame fish are swimming to me?" You know what I'm saying? How like she's like attracting like these guys are just like fucking awful people.
Sure.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah. I feel, there's a lot of R&B female R&B albums that it's not like when I listen to them it's very much like, oh, she hates all men. I can't listen to this. But
Yeah,
it's more of a, I guess, like an empowering women kind of thing, like I'm independent.
yeah, and more like a
But
men get your shit together type thing.
so what you're saying is this album is it's a different vibe than that.
Yeah, and I think it's her kind of coming to grips with her wanting to more so like love herself and just like date
Okay.
herself, to like that kind of notion where like she's just like, I'm just gonna focus on me, I'm gonna do
Sure.
whatever I need to do. If somebody comes along and I can, I want to rearrange my schedule and spend time with them, that's gravy, but other than that, really don't give a fuck. That's basically what the album is. I think that's amazing. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And there's like some like pretty funny stuff that like one thing I'll give Ari Lennox, and I think it's one of the reasons why I think she's one of my favorites, is she's fucking hilarious.
She's really funny.
Like she's so funny, and it's like obviously like off like social media wise, like when she was doing her Instagram lives, those were hilarious.
Mhm.
But also just like some of the lyrics to her songs are funny as hell,
Really?
and I think and they don't take away from the song either.
Sure.
Like she's like this, like obviously the line like plenty of fish in the sea. Can somebody explain why these lame ass fish are swimming to me? Pretty funny. Like she has like very quirky and funny like lines, and I
They're
think it's
creative.
kind of like a they're creative, yeah. And I think it's kind of it fits in with the theme of the album because she, like how people say it's probably good to laugh at yourself sometimes or to
Yeah,
find find the humor in things. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So instead of just keeping the super somber or super like emotionally charged and angry stance on her dating woes, she just makes light of them and jokes about them. Because I feel like that's a better experience to listen to than well every once in a while than opposed to just like just pure anger, toxicity, and jealousy. Or not jealousy and anger and toxicity. Honestly, you know what I'm saying?
sure, yeah.
Like she makes it funny, and so I think that's like a big like draw when it comes to this album. So I think it's definitely like an 8 out of 10 for me. I think it's phenomenal. The song, what song is it? The song "Boy Bye" with Lucky Day. First off, Lucky
Oh,
Day
Lucky
is a
Day is great.
phenomenal. Lucky Day is phenomenal. The chemistry those two have on that song is really good too because
Sick.
basically it's like basically she's singing and it's kind of like a how those songs that are kind of like a conversation.
Yeah,
Like where like they're not really like singing, but they're not really like talking. It's kind of like a mixture of the two.
sure.
It's kind of like that, where basically this the setup is Lucky Day is this guy trying to get at Ari, and like she's telling him, "Oh boy, bye" or whatever, and like he's trying to like say these these those lines that every guy uses trying to get at women, and like she obviously can see through the games. And like is kind of trying to curve him or whatever, but he keeps being persistent on it. Like that kind of deal.
Sure.
But the chemistry is great, and I think it's they need to do more songs together because I think they do a really good job on tracks. And plus, Lucky Day is a great artist anyway. Um, so yeah, if you haven't listened to that album, definitely go listen to it.
I will. Before we end,
Yes.
this is the jukebox, so this is relevant.
Okay.
Um, did you see what happened between Drake and Anthony Fantano?
Yes, I did.
This goes back to what you were saying. It's good to laugh at yourself because if Drake just would have went with the joke, he wouldn't be clowned on as he is right now. Do you know how it started?
Not necessarily. I just know that like Fantano has made a lot of like skits in his videos and made a lot of comments about Drake and his music in general, and obviously isn't the biggest fan of Drake at this current period of time in Drake's career. That's just
Sure.
from what I've gotten so far from the
My
background, I
biggest thing
guess.
though is you are not only a multimillionaire, you are the biggest rapper in the world. There's no one more famous than he is right now. You don't need to worry yourself with the likes of Anthony Fantano or anyone that makes critic videos on YouTube. And this is coming from someone who I like both of them, genuinely. I know
Yeah,
I've said my shit about Drake. He's not really hitting like he used to, but I am a fan of his, and I don't agree with everything Fantano says, but I do like him. I think he's funny. Um,
yeah.
the whole thing started with Drake DMs Fantano, and instead of exposing him, he makes something. It was pretty funny. It was a joke where it looked like he screenshotted their conversation, and Drake. The joke was Drake sends him like, "Hey, I know you've given me some good reviews, you give me some bad reviews, but I think you're pretty cool, and here's a
A
recipe
vegan
for
recipe.
vegan cookies."
Yeah,
And then Drake saw that, and then Drake exposed himself. Drake exposed the DMs of Drake saying your existence is a light one because you wifed up a black girl.
insane,
And then
insane.
everyone else in on online was like, you just you just made yourself look lame as fuck right now, bro.
Honestly, bro. Like what? Like
He
what
couldn't
the
take the
fuck?
joke.
Yeah, no, I don't get that. That's so weird.
And then
Like
Fantano went on live and talking about like, listen, I don't want to really farm this, but it happened, and it's kind of funny.
I mean, it's hilarious actually. Like I don't get why he did that. I don't get the Drake DM.
You
Also,
are
like,
Drake. You have better things to do.
right, you have better things to do. You have better things to talk about. And like you said, why is he worrying about what a 40-year-old music reviewer does and says about his music?
Is Fantano 40?
I don't think he's 40. I just made the. I think it was just for the joke. If he's 40, that's gonna be insane.
Oh my God, he's 36. He's close.
Okay, he's 36. Okay.
You
R.I.P.
36.
R.I.P. Teddy Ray. Oh, bruh. Yeah, but okay. So why are you worried about that? Like in any capacity?
Yeah, man. It's like you're famous. You made it already. Who cares what? And this is what Fantano says. Like, who cares what I say? I just have an opinion. That's what it
Yeah, and
is.
I don't know, cause like when, and I think back to even that, like when it's always funny, cause in sports and even like in sports, I always make the joke. Me and my coworkers all make a joke. Rankings don't matter unless they work in your favor, right? So like when a team or whatever or a team of the school I work at, we get ranked. It's like, oh, we're ranked top 10 in the country. But like if another team is like ranked, but they're not that good, we're like, oh, rankings don't matter. You know what I'm saying? But um, it's the same thing with these music reviews, right? Because if Fantano gives an album a six or says this album is not good, right?
Mhm.
They're like, oh, I don't fucking need these reviewers. Like they suck. Like it's just their opinion. I don't need to worry about whatever they have to say. But let Fantano give their album a 10. Watch what happens.
I
They're
know.
gonna
Be
post
happy about
it.
it. Yeah.
They're gonna post it. They're gonna, oh, yo, Fantano gave me a 10. You should listen to the album. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? Whether
And
he
the
gives
thing
it a
is,
six or a 10, you shouldn't worry about what he does. You know what I'm saying?
like, look at the path that Fantano took. I mean, that Logic took with Fantano. Like, Logic used to not like him, but then he like called him up, and they had a conversation. And even Fantano was like, "Listen, bruh, I don't even like my fans sometimes. Like, just focus on you. You're a good person, this and that." And like now I wouldn't say they're friends, but like they're boys.
Yeah, I mean,
And then instead of doing that, Drake had to be like, "Your existence is a
he's
light
just
one."
is a light one. Insane, insane.
Like, what are you doing, man?
It makes no sense. It's just, it's funny you talk about that. I remember what's his name, IDK, um, posted a tweet about is he real, and was
Oh
like,
yeah.
he's like, I let the Fantano and Sean C review cloud my judgment on my views on that album. Because I think it was like the 1 year anniversary or like 2 year anniversary of that album. An album of which that I generally liked. I liked that album. Thought it was solid.
As a Christian,
Um,
the first song scared me.
Loki.
Yeah.
Loki. I think just overall, I mean, I kind of get the theme he was going for,
Yeah,
and
definitely, definitely.
the songs that he was, the song choices and what he had on there. I thought it was solid, right?
Mhm.
Um, Jesus Christ, like that. It's like F1 outside of my door right now. Um, but he was like, I looked at their reviews on my album, and it kind of changed my perception on like what I thought this album was, or if it was even good. And he's like, but that's not I shouldn't be how I want to look at my own body of work. Like I want to like I think that every album I put out or every album that I make is going to be really good because of because I put a lot of hard work into it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
It shouldn't matter what the reviewer or whatever says about it. You know what I'm saying?
that's the thing when it comes to like reviews, because like everyone at the end of the day, everyone has an opinion, and there it we shouldn't not be able to speak about our opinions on music.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to sound like a Republican here. um but there is another side to shit like that, because like IDK coming out and saying that it kind of shows the human side of what can happen. Like you forget that Drake is human, because maybe Drake did take his last review a little harsh, because like, damn, like this is something I worked on. Again, whatever you say about Drake's music, whether you like it or not, it's something he worked on, and I do think for someone at his size, I do think he works hard on his music. I don't think he's
Yeah,
just phoning it in.
he
So
could
maybe
he could easily phone in a lot of his albums if he wanted to.
yeah, and I do think he works hard on his shit, and maybe he did take it personally. You know, who knows?
Yeah, you know, like I know we talked about Honestly Nevermind at length a while back, but you know, he took a risk, you know, jumped into something new,
Again,
and
not my favorite, but I liked it.
yeah, I didn't think it was that bad. Okay, well, okay, relative. I don't think. Do I think the album is a good house album? No, but do I think it's a decent Drake attempt at house?
Sure,
Yes.
I think Beyonce fared a little better in that
Oh my
realm.
God, that Renaissance album is insane.
And this is
Like,
coming from someone who I always say, hot take, I'm not like a huge fan of Beyonce because it's just not my demographic. She makes a lot of women empowering music, and
yeah,
again, not Republican. Not saying that shouldn't happen. It's just not something that I would listen to. But Renaissance was fucking good.
Renaissance is fucking insane, dude. Oh
Renaissance
my
is really
God. Oh my God. And I know I haven't really said too much about that album in tweets or anything like that, but stamp it right now. Like I put this on record. That album is fucking great.
It's really good. It's
That
really
album is
really good.
great.
Yeah,
Oh man, it's like there's something in that album. It's like it's everybody keeps coming back to it.
bro. She's a again, coming from someone who doesn't really like her music. You gotta admit it. She's a generational talent.
Yes, she's an icon.
Just like how I don't like LeBron, but that's for different reasons. But he's a generational talent.
Yes, 100%. It's just
you
there's
you
just
gotta
something
give credit.
where it's due. Absolutely. Oh yeah, but yeah, we haven't talked about that much at length. But Renaissance is a phenomenal album. When Act Two comes out, it's just gonna be crazy.
Go listen to it if you haven't.
Yeah, please.
Mm.
All right. Well, look like we did pretty good on time. Pretty decent episode. Yeah. So I'm not gonna make the mistake of saying we're gonna be more consistent again because I know that's not gonna be the case.
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep trying to pump out episodes as best we can. I know I'm kind of on the back end of my master's program stuff, so maybe by the time I graduate and I'm out in the adult world again, I can maybe
Sure.
have more time to put out episodes and even make clips of episodes so we can get more traction. If we'll see what happens, but
Yeah. And once I settle down with a job, I can set a schedule up, and yeah, I think it'll be more easy
yeah. So I think expect us to still make episodes
when
and
we
still
can.
push those out when we can. We really want to be consistent, but sometimes it just doesn't shake out that way. Again, please follow us on socials at Andre Alonso 17, at Nostalgia, at Nost plus Ultra on Twitter, at Nostalgia plus Ultra, all one word on Instagram. Yeah, that's been it. Anything else you got to say?
No, not right now.
Cool. That has been the Jukebox episode 3. I've been Nostalgia. As told by Zoe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.